Hello, Jet Setters. I'm Jeb Brooks from greenergrass.com, and today is a bittersweet day. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina for one of the very last flights on the MD-80 aircraft for American Airlines. The Mad Dog has been an important part of the fleet for decades, really, and today marks the end of its service for American. I'm so excited to be part of today on a flight to Dallas. I'm looking forward to sharing this service with you. Let's get checked in, head back, and get started.
As an aviation enthusiast, I believe all airports with markings on their windows should be avoided at all costs. Unfortunately, Raleigh falls into that category. Boarding was a bit slower than usual as aviation enthusiasts like me stopped for selfies and photos with the door. American's Super 80s retained their heritage liveries, which, in my humble opinion, remains one of the most beautiful paint jobs out there. Now, my very first flight was with American Airlines, or rather their regional brand, American Eagle. That flight must have been in the early 1990s and was between Greensboro, North Carolina and Washington, D.C. aboard a Shorts 360. As a result, American holds a special place for me, and there's no way I'd miss the opportunity to celebrate the retirement of such an iconic aircraft as American's Super 80.
You're part of history today. This is the last revenue flight on a McDonnell Douglas Super 80 aircraft. At one time, American Airlines had 372 of them. We're down to 26. All 26 of those aircraft will be going today to Roswell, New Mexico, where they'll be parted out.
If you missed today's celebration, keep an eye out. Delta has not yet announced when they're retiring their MD-88s and MD-90s, but surely the day must be approaching soon. The Raleigh-Durham Airport Authority also recognized the importance of the day with a water cannon salute. Always a treat. The McDonnell Douglas MD-83 that would carry us to Dallas today is registered November 964 Tango Whiskey. It was built back in 1999 for Trans World Airlines, or TWA. The aircraft goes by many names. You could get away with calling it an MD-80, an MD-83, a Mad Dog, or even, on American, a Super 80. The MD-83 is a lengthened version of the original Douglas DC-9 design. That aircraft first flew in 1965. At that time, the airplane was lauded for just how quiet it was. The passengers, after all, sat in front of the engines, leaving the sound behind them, or at least that's what airline marketers said. In truth, when compared to today's engines, they're pretty loud. In fact, the distinct sound of the Pratt & Whitney engines on the MD-83 is hard for anyone on the ground to miss. Economy passengers on a Super 80 enjoyed the luxury of 2-3 seating, and passengers in the last row even got a remarkable view of that engine. The first class cabin was arranged in a 2-2 configuration. The crew on this flight were great. They were excited about this momentous day and were supportive of all of us aviation enthusiasts who were busy with cameras throughout the plane. It certainly was bittersweet as we approached Dallas, but I assumed there'd be a party over at C2 where the final revenue flight would be boarding soon. Boy, was I right.
Let's see what kind of celebration is going on the ground here in Dallas.
But first, I wanted to take one last look at my seat. Now, I was the last person who paid for the privilege of sitting here. Pretty special. The party was in full swing by the time I arrived. Unfortunately, I just missed CEO Doug Parker's speech, so I went and asked him to share his thoughts with you.
So, was able to snag a quick second with Doug, the CEO of American Airlines. Doug, what does the Super 80 mean to you?
Oh, it's the workhorse of American Airlines. It's an airplane that we use to build this company. Those are for me for the most part, but it harkens back to the growth of American Airlines, what makes Americans so great. It's a huge part of our history. Excited to celebrate it.
Now,
I'm really excited about the future as well.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Maybe the best part of parties like this is the fact that I don't seem strange with my camera, since everybody's an aviation enthusiast looking to get pictures of the star of the show.
Hey, so this party continues. I am with my friend John Ostrower, the editor-in-chief of the Air Current. This is a pretty special day, John. What does it mean to you?
Well, okay, so the MD-80, one of my earliest memories flying was on an MD-80. It was a TWA MD-80. I was probably no older than 3 or 4, but honestly, it was one of the memories. I remember running up and down an aisle on a flight from, I think it was going to be St. Louis to San Antonio. So I mean, kind of dig deep in your aviation memory. It's like, this is an airplane that it's in the fabric of American aviation, and certainly for me personally, for my earliest memories of being in the air.
Well, that's great, and we're dealing with an expert here. Look, the Air Current is, I would say, the best source of aviation news out there. So if you're not subscribed, definitely check it out. I'll put a link in the description so you can take a look and see if it's for you. But John, we gotta get back to this party.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I was definitely sorry not to be on this flight, but it was awfully exciting to see the enthusiasm from those who were able to get a seat. There were even some lucky photographers who got out on the ramp. We watched as another Super 80 pushed back. Its next stop, Roswell. Finally, it was time for the final Super 80 to push back. It's moments like these that remind me how special aviation really is. I mean, just think of all the memories that this one airplane helped create. John said it well. So many of us have wonderful aviation memories tied to aircraft. Just think about this one. People jetted off to weddings, honeymoons, funerals, important business meetings, memorable vacations, all made possible by this mad dog. As always, I can't wait to get back in the air. And between now and the next time,
See you in the sky.